Yeah, hi there, Detroit's Wheels.
Doug, it's Brian.
Brian Thomas from the Heavy Metal Horror Show Halloween. Brian, how the heck are you, buddy?
That's good. I'm actually on 94 passing Harpo's, thinking about a couple days from now.
Wow, can you believe that? Yeah, you got that big show coming up. 40 years. Congratulations, Brian. I mean, it's hard enough keeping a band together, 10 years, 5 years, but 40 years. That's a long time. Yeah.
And people keep asking, who all's in the band? I'm like, well, half of us, me and George, are there.
Yeah.
And we've got some hotshot young guitar players, and the drummer's a monster. And
well, who are the guys? Who? Because that was one of my questions. So that was one of my questions. So who are the guys?
Well, it's me and George Neal on bass, and T.J. Richardson on guitar, and Ben Harmson on guitar. And then Rob Brugg on drums. He's from Toledo. He played in Damien, and he's on a couple of our albums. And he's been having some problems with his knees. And during COVID, he didn't renew his passport. So Jason Hartless Jr. from Ted Nugent went over and played in Germany with us. And he's also going to Mexico to play with us when we open for Alice Cooper and Queensryche and KK's Priest in December.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, there you go. Adding some heavyweights to the band. I love that. But you guys have had some incredible original members that went on to do some pretty heavyweight things themselves, like Rick Craig, of course. Humble. He ended up in Humble Pie for a little while, and then
Rick toured with Humble Pie, and he was in a band called Noon. He played with Charlie Yoon from Nugent for a little while.
And Tommy Stewart too, right?
He's done good. And then our second drummer, Tommy Stewart, he was a rock star 5 times over. He left us and ended up in Cody Lee with Jeff Lando, who is Vince Neil's guitar player now and plays in Slaughter. And then from there he went to Lillian Axe, and then he went to Godsmack. He was a founding member of Godsmack with Sully.
Wow.
And after Godsmack, he was in Low Pro. Aaron Lewis from Stain, his first signing with his label. And then he played in Fuel, and then he played with Everclear.
Woo!
And now he owns a gym in California, and he's not playing anymore.
Oh, for goodness sake. We should all go to his house and just party.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm sure he can afford it.
Somewhere in the Hollywood Hills, I believe.
Yeah. So, Brian, you and I go way back, of course. You were a part of the WLLZ albums back in the 80s, 83, 84.
Yep, we were on Motor City Rocks 3.
Okay, yeah, 80.
With
80.
some other heavy hitters. Seduce, Scarlet, Strut, Savage Grace.
Yeah, that was a great album back then, and the new one, we love it right now, and I can't thank you enough, you and the guys, for donating your one of your great songs for this Wheels album. Tell me a little bit about the remix.
You for having us. I haven't even heard it yet. I heard that Jason Hartless remixed it and remastered it, and he's got it sounding really good. It's actually a cover tune that was written by some friends of mine that I grew up idolizing in New Jersey, where I'm from. They were called Salty Dog, and they wrote the song about their haunted band house. And when they quit doing it, I was like, hey, would you mind if we, took that under our wing and recorded it? And we did a video with you guys, and it's a staple in our set now. Everybody thinks it's ours, but I mean, it's our adopted child. What a nice place. And we're happy to be on the album with it. You were
one of the first local bands on the beat, and I remember we shot that video at Harpo's, as a matter of fact. And it turned out to be a song that has stood the test of time. And now on the brand new WLLZ Motor City Rocks album 2023. And we have your albums, by the way. We're going to bring them out there Saturday.
Awesome.
We'll have them for sale there as well. So I was told that if people buy the album and they can come to you and get them signed. So is that true?
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
What we're doing, we're doing a VIP dinner. We have 10 fans that are going to join the bands and road crew for dinner. One of our sponsors, Italia Gardens, is providing a nice meal for everybody so that we can feed all the bands and crew. And then right after dinner, doors open at 6 o'clock, and free meet and greet with all 4 bands. You walk right in the door, come right over to the merch booth, and we'll sign whatever you got. All 4 bands will be there for a half an hour, and then Animal goes on at 6:45, and Casting Shadows after them, and then Wrecking Crew, and then we're hoping to hit the stage somewhere around 10:31 maybe. So we'll sign whatever, man. Buy the Wheels album, we'll sign it. We'll sign everything.
Now, I've been to countless Halloween shows, and we've done the TV show Rock 900 as well with Comcast when that was on.
We blew up some pumpkins with the ghoul.
That's right. But you guys take pride in your stage setup. And I would imagine that for the 40th anniversary, it's going to be massive. Have you guys already started?
We're bringing out the big guns.
Yeah.
And, it's funny, all these other bands, these national bands that are on tour, they have $1 million budget to do all this. And, we built everything in the garage, and it's held up through, survived the test of time. And we keep adding to it. And we built it for Harpo's years ago. And so we couldn't think of a better place to celebrate the 40th than on that, world famous stage with our giant stage show.
And the fact that, I love the fact that it's so close to Halloween this year. I mean, a lot of times you play, but it's not during Halloween. But this is going to be pretty doggone close, so people can wear their costumes and come out.
Halloween weekend, but in the past couple years, it seemed like all the venues around town would bring in Slipknot or Gwar, or ICP always does an annual Halloween show. And so we figured, you know what? People go to Halloween parties, and all these other Alice Cooper would come to town, Rob Zombie, and so we figured, you know what? Let's push it up a week so that everybody can still go to their Halloween weekend parties, and they can come out and celebrate with us 10 days out, and then maybe we can go out and catch a haunted house or a show Halloween weekend. Plus, my Scorpions tribute is playing Halloween weekend at the Token with Crazy Babies. So that's on the 28th. So, I mean, I get to dress up twice this year. Once as me and once as Klaus.
Well, we love that. No question about it. You do a great job with that Scorpions. We'll have to talk about that one day, but there's so much with Halloween that we could cover. I mean, all the years. That first album, I mean, to me, is an absolute Motor City rock classic. It is right up there in the top 5 albums of Detroit local bands. Yeah, no question about it, Brian.
We had a lot of fun making it. I've been posting on Facebook all kinds of memories from back in those days when we made that album and when we went out on tour, and all the crazy antics and pranks and shenanigans that we got up to back then. I've been putting all these stories on, and it's nice because I've had all these people from back then that are still around that have been reaching out and adding to the stories and saying, oh, don't forget to tell about this one. And, and we thought it'd be a nice way to kind of, rustle up some old friends and interest and get people to come out to the show and hang out with us this weekend.
Yeah, I've read a few, and you've done a great job with that, by the way. So congrats on that.
Everybody keeps telling me you should write a book. I'm like, I am. I'm doing it day by day.
Although that would be a pretty interesting page turner for sure if you were to write a book about.
Well, like we've talked in the past, I've written a couple of ideas for some movies, but finances always ends up getting in the way. Over the years we've had health issues and financial issues and, with a label, and then you get, things happen and they don't pay you and you know how the business is. And so there's been like one little thing after another that kind of sidelines the ideas for books and movies. But we've got all this stuff. We've been working on Don't Meddle with Evil Live, which includes the original guys.
Wow.
And Jason Hartless and Bob Becker over at Pack 3 Studios is working on baking those tapes and digitizing them so that we can mix it and put out an album of Don't Meddle with Evil that we did live in '88 at Harpo's.
Wow. Now, there you go. I can see Sound City Music Group wrapping their hands around that. Boy, that would be a good one.
Well, everybody asks us, they're like, didn't you guys do a live album? We're like, yeah, but we couldn't afford to put it out. So now we're trying to get all these loose ends tied up.
Well, you're starting to sound like Dee Snider to me now, Brian. So you're like an entrepreneur. Yeah. Do you remember your very first gig, and what was it like, and where was it?
The very first gig with Halloween?
Yeah, with Halloween.
Was actually when we were still called Bitch. And we told everybody, because we had a nice little following. We were doing a lot of cover tunes back then. And we told everybody that we were breaking up. And the reason was because a band in L.A. came out, Betsy Bitch, put an album out. And we originally wanted to call the band Halloween, but Chuck Burns from Seduce was our drummer in the very beginning. And he was friends with the guys in Seduce, and they were writing the song Halloween, which we eventually recorded. And so he didn't want to call the band Halloween, thinking that they would think that it was shady business. And so we went with Bitch for a year, and then we let everybody believe that we were breaking up. And on Halloween night at the Falcon Lounge, we had the brand new Halloween banner behind the Bitch backdrop. And we went on at 2 minutes to midnight so that it would still be Halloween. And we announced that this is our last show and that from now on we are Halloween. We pulled down the Bitch banner and we became Halloween on stage, Halloween night, 1983 at the Falcon Lounge.
Wow. That is a great story. I've never heard that story from you before. I love that. Yeah, I love that.
How many bands became, something that lasted 40 years on stage? We just, we pulled a caper and it worked out well, and we've been going strong ever since.
Say, tell me a little bit about that trip out to Europe, to Germany here just last year.
Well, like I said, it didn't hurt having Ted Nugent's drummer along with us. And
okay.
He's going to Mexico, too. We had taken a hiatus back, 20 years ago. And, everybody was doing other things. And we got an email from somebody over in Europe and wanted us to come over and play a festival. And we went over in 2004 and played Keep It True. And then this year they invited us back. Actually, 3 years ago they invited us back, but then COVID happened and it got pushed back 3 years. And we finally got to go out this year. And we had a blast. I mean, the festival is one of the biggest ones on the planet now. A lot of underground bands. We made friends with some nice new up-and-coming metal bands. And in fact, some of them, Visigoth is playing in Mexico with us, too, but they're playing with Wasp the night after us. But, yeah, we had a great time, and it went by too fast.
Yeah, well, I was following that, and it certainly looked like it was a great time, a huge crowd out there, and you guys pulled it off.
They got mad at us the first time that we went because we had played some of the newer songs off the No One Gets Out album, and they were ripe and ready for Don't Meddle with Evil, and they wanted us to play more of that. So when we went this time, we did the whole album, the Don't Meddle with Evil album, and it went over really good.
Yeah.
We'll be playing a lot of that on Saturday as well.
Excellent.
And then we're going to do most of Don't Meddle with Evil and 2 songs off all the other albums.
All right. Wow. I'll tell you, that show's going to last a while. How many albums you got? About 13 of them at least. Yeah.
5 minutes.
All right, so what's Mexico? What's the date on that?
December 2nd, we're playing with Alice Cooper, Queensryche, KK's Priest, Obituary, Hellstar, and we're in there somewhere. And then on the same festival, Lita Ford and Vixen are playing the night before us, and the night after us is Wasp, Last in Line, Accept. A bunch of great bands on this festival.
No, that is.
We're
Huge.
blown away, geeked that we get to play with Alice Cooper on December 2nd.
Oh, man, he'll love
in Mexico City. It's called Life After Death Horror Fest.
Oh, my God. All right.
Yep.
Well, sign me up for that. I'll be
a combination of heavy metal and the horror movies.
Yeah, I'll be
they're doing it up. It's their first year doing it, man. They got some great bands on
heavyweights. I'll be your official MC. Just throw me in a suitcase. I'm ready to rock.
Yeah, we'll stow you away.
Well, I got to give yourself, Brian, and George Neal a giant salute, a big hug from all of us here at Detroit's Wheels. You two guys really are, the glue of this thing since the very beginning, and I just can't tell you how much we appreciated you being on the album again, and also for just your perseverance in the heavy metal horror show, keeping heavy metal alive here in the Motor City. And
thank you for all the years of support. And we've been working on a new album for a couple of years now, and hopefully that'll come out soon, and we can keep things rolling along. We got some great guys in the band, and anybody that comes out Saturday will get a chance to see that and hear that for themselves. And, Roosevelt bought Harpo's. He used to run, he owned Blondie's and Todd's back in the day. And he's just done an amazing job, keeping Harpo's and the spirit over there alive. And we're really excited about Saturday. We hope everybody can come out. And it's low dough, too. We're not charging $1,000 a ticket like Taylor Swift. It's $20 to get in.
Okay.
And $25 at
Yeah, I got to give a big salute to Roosevelt as well. He's done a great job of reviving that place and getting it back up to speed. And everybody who goes there just loves it. They still love it. And I can't wait to get back there and see you guys. I'll see you Saturday out there. And once again, we'll have Wheels albums for sale. You can buy them and get the band to sign them. And just a giant congratulations and well done to you guys. And we'll see you there Saturday at Harpo's, Brian.
Wear your costume, too. We're gonna bring people from the audience that dress up scary. We're going to bring them up and get them in the show, too. So dress to impress.
All right. Well, congratulations on 40 years, Brian Thomas, from the band Halloween.
Appreciate all your support over the years. You're one of a kind. We love you, man.
All right, buddy. We'll see you Saturday.
All right. See you Saturday.
All right. Brian Thomas right here on Detroit's Wheels.